Hello, boys and girls. My name is Miss Aaliyah Brewster, and welcome to another edition of Grade 4 Science. Today's topic is the digestive system, but just in case you're not feeling motivated, remember the words of Marie Curie. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. So what are you waiting for? Grab a pencil and a notebook, get settled, we're about to start. To begin today's lesson, I would like to recite a poem for you. The name of this poem is Digestion. So listen to it closely because it can give you some hints as to what digestion is all about. Chop, chop, chew, chew. When you eat, what do? Chop, chop, chew, chew, till it's time to swallow. Gulp, gulp, swallow, swallow. Down the stomach's hollow, hollow. Gulp, gulp, swallow, swallow. There the food is stored. Mix, mix, churn, churn. Juices are mixed, muscles are turned. Mix, mix, churn, churn. The food is breaking down. Sugar, starch, protein, fat. Your body uses all of that. Sugar, starch, protein, fat that your food provides. That's the process. One last question. What's the process called? Digestion. Thank you, boys and girls. It was fun saying that poem and I trust that you would have enjoyed it. Now let's dive into today's lesson. You've heard me use the term digestion many times. But what is digestion? Digestion is a complicated process that takes place in our gut. Digestion is the process by which food and drink are broken down into smaller parts so that the body can use them to build and nourish cells and to provide energy. There are two types of digestion, namely mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. Let's discuss each individually. Mechanical digestion. Mechanical digestion involves the mechanical breakdown of food into smaller pieces. It begins in the mouth with chewing. The tongue and the teeth play the most important roles here. They help by moving the food around and chewing it. Now let's move on to chemical digestion. Chemical digestion involves the chemical breakdown of food by different enzymes and chemicals. This also starts in the mouth with the salivary amylase. That starts the process of carbohydrate breakdown. Chemical digestion continues throughout the digestive system with gastric acid in the stomach and pancreatic and other enzymes in the small intestine. As we would have discussed earlier, teeth plays an important role in mechanical digestion, so it's only fair for us to examine the various types of teeth and their function. To begin, we're going to discuss the cross-section of a tooth. We're going to look at a diagram and identify the various parts of a tooth. At the top, there's the enamel. That's the white part that you're accustomed to seeing or that you brush with your toothbrush. Below that, there's the dentin, and below the dentin is a soft tissue called the pulp. Below the pulp, you have the root canal. Now the tooth is secured into the mouth by the gum. Now that we would have discussed the cross-section of the tooth, let's discuss various types of teeth. Every human has 4 types of teeth, namely the incisor, the canine, the premolar, and the molars. The incisors are the teeth. They're flat and they look like a chisel. The incisors are used for biting food. Just after the incisors, you'll notice the canine. The canines are slightly more pointed than the incisors, and their function is also for biting and tearing food. If you go further to the back of the mouth, you'll notice the premolars. The premolars have cusp, and their function is for tearing and grinding food. At the back of the mouth, we have the molars. The molars are responsible for chewing and also grinding food. So together, all of our teeth work to aid in mechanical digestion or to help break down food into smaller particles that are easier to swallow. Now that we know teeth is important, how do we care for them? You care for your teeth by eating foods that are rich in calcium and vitamin D, such as milk. Also, Rinse your mouth with water after every meal. You can also floss your teeth and brush your teeth using fluoride toothpaste at least twice a day. If you don't take care of your teeth, you look like the guy in the photograph. Notice how some of his teeth are missing? You don't want to look like that, so take care of your teeth. Now let's move on to discuss the digestive system. To do this, we're going to look at a diagram of the digestive system. To begin, we know that digestion starts in the mouth. So there we have the mouth, and an important aspect of digestion in the mouth is saliva. So you'd notice the salivary glands are located very close to the mouth, and then the tube-like organ that flows from the mouth to the stomach is known as the esophagus. Then we have the stomach, the liver, gallbladder, pancreas, large intestine, small intestine, appendix, rectum, and the anus. So, by now you're affiliated with how the digestive system looks. But let's discuss, how does food move through the digestive system? So imagine this. You're sitting and you're eating lunch. For lunch, you're having grilled chicken pizza and milk. When you're finished, you take your last sip of milk, wipe your mouth, and go to watch your favorite show on TV. In a few minutes, you would have completely forgotten about the pizza you had for lunch. But it is still in your stomach, and that's where all the excitement happens. The first major muscle movement is swallowing food or liquid. The start of swallowing is voluntary, meaning we can control whether or not we want to swallow a certain type of food. But once that begins, the process becomes involuntary and continues under the control of nerves. The esophagus, which connects the throat above with the stomach below, is the first organ into which the swallowed food goes. Where the esophagus and the stomachs are joined, there is a ring-like valve that closes the passage between the two organs. When the food nears the closed ring, the surrounding muscles relax and allow the food to pass into the stomach, and then it closes again. The food then enters the stomach, which completes 3 mechanical tasks: stores, mixes, and empties. First, the stomach stores the swallowed food and liquid, which requires the muscle of the upper part of the stomach to relax and accept large volumes of swallowed material. Second, the lower part of the stomach mixes up the food. Liquid and digestive juices are produced by the stomach by muscle action. Third, the stomach empties this content into the large intestine. The food is digested in the large intestine and dissolved by the juices from the pancreas, liver, and intestine. And the contents of the intestine are mixed and pushed forward to allow further digestion. Last, the digested nutrients are absorbed through the intestinal walls. The waste products, including undigested parts of the food, known as fiber and older cells that have been shed, move into the colon. Waste products usually remain in the colon for a day or two until feces or poop are expelled by bowel movements. And that's it, boys and girls. That's how digestion occurs within the digestive system. Now let's discuss some types of tummy troubles. The first would be constipation. This is the most popular reasons for belly pain. If you haven't had a bowel movement, or you didn't poo for a while, or if it hurts to go to the washroom, you're probably constipated. Next, there is diarrhea. Diarrhea is often caused by an infection that some people call the stomach flu. When you have diarrhea, your bowel movements are runny and watery, and it may cause you to feel sick to your stomach. The pain is one way your body tells you to stay near the bathroom. You can also have tummy aches because of something that you would have ate. Some children get belly pain because they ate too much of something, a food that was too spicy or greasy, or food that sat around in the fridge for too long and went bad. That can cause serious abdominal pain. Also, some persons may experience abdominal pain if they have an intolerance to a certain type of food or a food allergy. Some people have foods that are hard for them to digest. This is called a food intolerance. For example, with lactose intolerance, have a tough time digesting lactose, a type of sugar found in milk and other dairy foods. A food allergy is different and some can be very serious. Food allergies can cause immune system reaction that can harm the body. Someone with a food allergy must always avoid that food that they are allergic to. Moving on to appendicitis. If the pain starts by your belly button and then moves to your right side of your belly, it may be appendicitis. Fever or vomiting along with pain that gets worse and worse and a loss of appetite also can be signs of appendicitis. Lastly, stress. Many children and adults have a nervous stomach, meaning when they are worried or stressed out, they can experience tummy pains. Now that we know some of the things that can go wrong and cause us pain within our tummy area, let's discuss how to prevent belly pain. If you'd like to prevent belly aches, here are some good tips for you to follow. Don't overeat. Eat fiber-rich foods such as fruits and vegetables so that your bowel movements are regular. Drink lots of fluids, especially water. Wash your hands before eating. Don't eat right before bedtime. And get lots of sleep so that your body doesn't run down. However, if you have a belly ache, be sure to let an adult know what is going on. That has brought us to the end of our lesson, boys and girls. Today we learned that digestion is the process by which food and drink are broken down into smaller parts so that the body can use them to build and nourish cells to provide energy. We also learned that there are two types of digestion, namely mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion takes place in the mouth by breaking down food into smaller pieces. Chemical digestion, however, is the process by which food is broken down by acid and enzymes into basic units. We also learned about the 4 types of teeth, namely the incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. We also discussed tummy troubles and how we can prevent them. It's time for me to go, boys and girls, but remember the words of Marie Curie, nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Thank you for tuning in, boys and girls, and goodbye.